this game of chess. The Democrat Party has pretty much almost exhausted their use for the Black constituency.
In Philly, they got this Black woman fired.
But they were essentially the same questions, both interviews, about accomplishments, progress in your respective state, what's at stake in the election, what he has to say about his debate performance, and what he would say to voters who think their vote doesn't matter or might sit this election out. Were those questions given to you by the White House, or did you have, or the campaign, or did you have to submit questions ahead of this interview?
The questions were sent to me for approval. I approved of them.
Okay, so the White House sent the questions to you ahead of the interview?
Yes.
Okay.
I got several questions, 8 of them, and the 4 that were chosen were the ones that I approved.
Okay. And the reason I ask is not a criticism of either of you. It's just that if the White House is trying now to prove the vim, vigor, acuity of the president, I don't know how they do that by sending questions first before the interview so that the president knows what's coming. Let me play here a bit of your interview. This is, and you've probably seen it's gotten a lot of attention. This is when he was asked about his accomplishments as president. Let's play it.
I'm proud to be, as I said, the first vice president, first Black woman to serve with a Black president.
What?
Did you hear, as it's being covered, the president say he was proud to be the first Black woman president? Because that's what the headlines all over the internet are suggesting.
I find it interesting that they saw and heard intimating that Kamala Harris was the first Black woman vice president. And I guess with his speech impediment, they heard something else. And I find it interesting that that was the only thing that they picked out of that entire conversation and ran with it. Look, we have a hard way to go in this country.
All right. So what goes on there? This interview came out on CNN. And since then, she has been let go. Philadelphia radio station WURD has cut ties with a host who revealed President Joe Biden's team provided her pre-approved questions before a recent interview. Shelley, what are your thoughts here? So they let her go because of this interview.
Yeah, unfortunately, this is what we call collateral damage. These people have been lying, stealing, and cheating since I don't know how long, but a long time. Donna Brazile, remember, she gave the questions to Hillary Clinton during the debate when she was debating Donald Trump. That she denied it at first. I'm surprised this lady came out and said that. But when I think about it, she probably thought she did nothing wrong, that it was okay to do it, and that it would just be the acceptable standard to have questions fielded to you who are supposed to be the journalist, and you're reading the questions that you are given. I think she just thought it was okay to do so. But now she's out of a job, okay? And Biden doesn't know if he's the Black president or the vice president or not. I mean, this, you can't make this stuff up. This woman is collateral damage. I'm going to quote what I say regularly, and I haven't said it in a while. Progressive policies pulverize the people they purport to protect. She thought she was protected class. Now her ass is grass.
Megan, oh.
You could not be more right, Shelley. And, you know, while I don't speak on politics, I will speak to this particular situation. Black people have allowed themselves to be martyrs. And you see it all the time. Stacey Abrams, Fannie Willis, that one lady who was the president of Howard or whatever, the bald-headed lady who ended up killing herself. This attorney general, whoever she is in Illinois. You're seeing that Black women are putting themselves in harm's way because you meaning Black women, get pushed out in front because you're the ones with the big mouths and the big this and the big that, big persona, just like myself. So you get pushed out in the front, key on first, you're really a pawn in this game of chess. You get killed first, then here comes somebody else who is several shades lighter than you. They come in and then they get the benefits of your death. It happens every single solitary time. And to sit up here and say, and to try to force this narrative of, oh, well, this is the year of the Black woman, that is a trick. It is a trick. Because yes, they'll push your Black behind up there and then they will crucify you. They will let you die on the sword and embarrass you, take your job. Fannie Willis will never recover from this situation. Right. This radio lady will never recover from this situation. These Abrams will never, I ain't heard anything from Abrams for the last year and a half. You'll never recover from these situations that they have put you in. They are literally putting you in to take the brunt of all of the stress first. Then they'll come in with the residue and say, oh, well, let me get women's rights. But it was Black women that were asking for women's rights first. Then here comes a whole bunch of the other people from the other party talking about, oh, well, yeah, we want them too. These Black people got to wake up and smell the coffee because this is the problem. Stay your Black behind back and let these people fight themselves and get out of the way and stop being used as a martyr. They will kill you and then talk about you later when they put your Black behind on the t-shirt.
Yeah. No, Tyrone, I would love to get your response to that.
Now, just to piggyback on something that Megan said, that issue with Fannie Willis, notice no other DA in Georgia wanted that. Okay. And they've all pretty much indicated that if she's disqualified, they ain't taking it. Okay. So it's exactly in support of what Megan said. I think it's also kind of interesting that you've got this woman. I think Shelley's right. She had the interview of a lifetime. Okay. The president of the United States. She didn't know any better. She wouldn't have been fired had she not divulged what happened on CNN. But more fundamentally, a process is taking place whereby the Democrat Party has pretty much almost exhausted their use for the Black constituency. I think within by the next election cycle, because you've got Black women out there talking about, oh, we'll burn the party down if you don't vote, if you don't nominate Kamala. And you're not playing smart politics because there are people behind the curtain that you've never heard from saying, oh, you burn it down. Okay, fine. Well, we need to speed up this importation of votes coming from across the southern border. And somebody said, well, all of them are not going to vote Democrat. That's why they're bringing in so many, because all they need is replacement for the Black vote. And you're seeing it in Chicago right now. You're seeing it in New York, where, and these are Black mayors that are ignoring their Black constituency and basically giving the keys to the city to people who are not Americans. Go you one further, and then I'll give it back to you. When Eric Adams tried to come out and buck the system, buck that agenda, notice what happened to him. Mm-hmm. First, he got a call that his campaign finance person house was being raided. Then later on, they took him off of the street, approached his police detail, and said, the Fed said, we need to speak to him, put him in a Black Suburban, took his phone, probably gave him a stern talking to, and you have not heard him protest about it since. So an active campaign is occurring for the Democrat Party is going to dispense with this need they have for this 20% of the Black vote.
Poor lady. I feel so bad that she had no idea that she wasn't supposed to say that. And she, thought she was in this Marxist bubble, that this is what happens, that yes, you get the pre-approved questions, and then out of those pre-approved questions, this is your choice. So you have no say as a journalist, that the government is running the show. It's very similar to what was happening in the Soviet Union for for decades, and it was normal. So people thought that this is how it's supposed to be done, and then this is what she's thinking as well, or she was thinking. And I mean, it was funny to me that she also said that Joe Biden had a speech impediment. What is that? That's new information altogether. Um, so, and it made, when I look at Biden and what is going on in America, it's very similar. I don't know if you guys know of it was a Soviet leader, Brezhnev.
Leonid
And
Brezhnev.
That's Mika.
right,
That's Mika. Isn't that Mika?
Leonid Brezhnev.
Well, never, no, Brezhnev. I'm talking about her father. Never mind.
Right, and he also could not really speak well. There were all sorts of jokes about him. He always read off of a notebook, and that's what I think is going on with Biden as well. I think possibly that one interview on the radio, that he was on the phone, he might have been reading, so that he has to have a paper in front of him. Also, all the questions, I'm sure, were approved and he knew them. But what's interesting is that after Brezhnev in the Soviet Union, that's when the perestroika started, because people just had enough, because it was so comical. The fact that he just could not even put words together, they couldn't even understand what he was saying. So he died in 1982, and right after that, that's when everything just, people had enough, and there was a rebellion against the whole system. So I just hope we don't have to wait, because Brezhnev was in power for 18 years. So I hope we do not have to wait that long.
Yeah, say what you want about the two parties, but the issue here with the Black woman is we sometimes always want to depend on something else. So the difference with the right and the left, and I won't even say the right and the left, I would say conservatism and leftism, is, at least with conservatism, it's not based off of a gender or off of the color of your skin. They try to say it is, but the premise of it is that no matter what you are, we're going to treat you, we're about freedom. You're not going to get much from us when it comes to, like handouts, government assistance. You got to do it on your own, but whatever you do on your own, then that's you. You can run with it. But with the Democrats, they want us dependent on a system, that system being government, not God. They want us dependent on a system, and then because they want us dependent on that system, they rig it in a way where they say, well, we want everybody equal. So we put black people ahead, or we want white people ahead, or we want LGBT ahead. When it's not even about that. They just want to remain in power and be able to throw off a little bit what they can give you, and you be happy with it.
Exactly. Well, you know how I sum it up. I've been saying it. It's the year of the Black woman for all the wrong reasons. And like Megan said, then that's why, we're out front and we're getting, wiped out, knocked down, dodging and dodging all the different bullets. And then they come back, come up and take the credit for whatever has gone on. But again, too many Black women, in this case, too many Black women, they only see power. And they see this power that's being given to them and bestowed on them for something that they haven't earned, or for the wrong reasons.
Wrong reasons, right?
So let me say this. I hate to bring it up, but I'm gonna go ahead and bring it up anyway. When they wanted you to feel good, they took you from the field and brought you into the house, but you were still a slave. Okay? You were still a slave. So don't come over here talking like you're doing something. You ain't doing nothing. And I have been saying it for years that Black people, melanated people, have a superpower that they don't even understand that they have, and that's the power of influence. Everything that Black people, especially American Black people, do, the way we do our hair, the way we do our makeup, the fact that we do weaves, braids, dreads, the whole nine, what our lips, our nose, our butts, our hips, the way we dress, the way we dance. People in Japan are taking classes to learn how to break dance. People in Japan, China, are twisting their hair up to get afros. Listen, I have been saying it for years. Black people are the people of influence.
Mm-hmm.
But that's all you're doing. It's nothing but jig and jive. It's on the table, chucking and jiving, tap dancing, and all this other kind of thing. That's all you're doing, because you're getting absolutely nothing for it or from it. And I think it was one of these sororities says that imitation is not flattery at all. So we have to understand as American Blacks that, listen, this is a bait and switch, baby.
Mm-hmm.
This is a bait and switch. I don't care which party, you've got to say, listen, we need to have a conversation before you have me up here charging people with crimes and dating my assistant attorney and he coming to my house. You got to, wait a minute. I need to discuss with you seriously on what it is that I'm going to get in retrospect, because I'm not going to stand up here, yell and scream at you that I have a dream and let you kill me on the balcony. That's not going to happen.
Yeah. Wow.